Blender 5.0, the next big leap. Just like the legendary 2.8 update, Blender 5.0 feels like another massive turning point. The devs are cooking up features that push Blender into serious competition with the big-name software out there. The official release is expected around late November, but we don't have to wait until then to get a taste. Developers and artists are already testing out these updates and dropping demos that are making the community buzz. Let's check them out. Slavo showed off something pretty wild. The compositor now works directly with the video sequence editor, VSE. This brings Blender closer to tools like DaVinci Resolve and Final Cut. You can now do your color correction, grading, and post effects right in the compositor and instantly see the results inside the sequencer. Real-time post-production in Blender is finally here. Just like adding geometry nodes to a mesh, you can attach compositor node trees directly to your footage. Multiple clips can each have their own node setups, and you can even share node groups between them. This opens the door to some seriously flexible post-production workflows all inside Blender. Andrew Price showed off the brand new preset system for geometry nodes and the compositor. Instead of painstakingly building setups from scratch every time, Blender 5.0 adds drag and drop templates, arrays, scattering, color presets, LUTs, and more. It's similar to the asset browser, but faster and more integrated. Think of it like Blender giving you a toolbox of ready-to-use building blocks that you can still customize. We're also getting a brand new Convolve node for the compositor. This node makes it incredibly easy to apply custom filters, like bokeh patterns, directly in your renders. Instead of being locked to standard blur shapes, you'll be able to design your own out-of-focus effects. Think star-shaped highlights, hexagonal lens blur, or any pattern you can imagine. It's a simple addition, but one that gives artists a ton of creative freedom when it comes to cinematic depth of field and stylistic effects. Grease pencil artists, rejoice. Motion blur is now natively supported. No more faking it with smear frames. Blender handles it automatically, giving animations that extra cinematic feel. The sky texture finally gets an upgrade. With multiple scattering, your skies look richer, and the lighting in your scenes feels way more natural. Perfect for those sunrise-sunset renders where realism really counts. The lens distortion node just got smarter. In Blender 5.0, it now preserves transparency, which might sound small, but it's a game changer for compositing. Before, if you wanted to add that subtle fisheye bend or simulate the quirks of a real lens, you risked warping your entire image, background and all. Now, you can target just the foreground layer while leaving the rest of your scene untouched. This makes it super easy to add stylized distortion to titles, VFX layers, or overlays without breaking your composition. It's one of those quality of life upgrades that seems tiny on paper, but once you use it, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. A brand new radial tiling node is landing in Blender 5.0, and it's coming everywhere: geometry nodes, shader nodes, and even the compositor. Until now, tiling in Blender was limited to good old-fashioned grids, repeating textures or objects along the X and Y axes, like wallpaper patterns. Radial tiling changes the game by letting you repeat elements in a circular fashion around a central point, just like using the array modifier, but with rotation baked right in. You can create perfect mandalas, kaleidoscope-like textures, circular sci-fi greebles, or spiraling motion graphics in just a few clicks. And because it's node-based, you're not locked into static results. You can animate the rotation, like adjust the number of repeats, or even feed it procedural patterns for some seriously wild effects. Blender 5.0 will let you paint pixel art directly in the texture paint mode. Pixel art is huge in indie game development, and now you won't need outside software to create it. Simple, powerful, and very cool. HDR support is coming to the Blender viewport. You'll be able to see brighter highlights and a wider dynamic range directly while working, giving you a much more accurate look at how your renders will shine. Closures are a big new concept coming to Blender's node system. Right now, when you build geometry node setups, everything executes immediately in one flow. With closures, you'll be able to wrap up parts of your node tree as independent chunks of logic that can be reused or executed later. Think of them like functions in programming. Instead of repeating the same steps everywhere, you can package them up, pass them around, and call them when needed. This means node setups can become cleaner, more modular, and easier to share. It also hints at future workflows where geometry nodes could behave more like a full programming language inside Blender. The gold standard for color management in VFX is now natively in Blender. This is huge for studios and artists who need accurate film quality color pipelines. Of course, Blender 5.0 has even more features, updates, and bug fixes on the way, and I'll be covering them as they roll out. So if you want to stay in the loop, don't forget to hit that sub button and drop a like. If you want to dive deeper into these updates, I've left links in the description. And if you're curious about the newest add-ons that are already taking advantage of these features, you'll find those down there too. That's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.